It's Monday, and that means it's time for Begnaud's America, where we find the heart in every story. This week, CBS News contributor David Begnaud digs deep in the heart of Texas, and that's where he found one dedicated public servant who says his life proves anything is possible for the rest of us.
That man you were looking at in the mirror cannot believe everything that he has seen.
I just think about my home village, because right now my home village has been destroyed to ashes.
But from those ashes, Fidele Sebahizi has turned trauma into triumph, and along the way found the American dream right here in Abilene, Texas.
Can you change it to 1075?
Safeguarding this city far from this one, where he grew up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Africa. This church is all that remains after an attack on his home village forced him to flee on foot back in 1996 when he was just 14 years old. You see, his ethnic group was facing persecution. And when another war tore apart Congo in 2004, a lot of people stacked these trucks with everything that they could, leaving behind only the memories that were too heavy to pack. They escaped across the border into Burundi to seek safety at a United Nations refugee camp.
In that refugee camp, we got attacked by several heavily armed groups, and we lost 166 people in a matter of 2 hours. Seeing my friends, my family members set on fire, alive. It was like a movie, but it was real.
With few belongings and nowhere to belong, really, Sebahizi says he's not even sure how he wound up on a plane bound for the United States of America.
It was my first time flying. I was like, is this how people die or what? So it was crazy. So I didn't know where I was going.
Far from Congo, in Southern California, Sebahizi started to build a new life. He started taking English classes alongside his father.
I took classes like 6 days, like morning, afternoon, and night.
And soon those classes turned into college courses, all while he was welcoming a new child into the world. In 2015, he followed a brother to Abilene, Texas. And that is where this refugee found inspiration, in a community that is almost 70% white. Sebahizi found work in a prison, where, believe it or not, the idea for his next career move came from some of the people behind bars.
They started calling me a cop. They were like, go outside and be a real cop.
So he did. And even if Sebahizi stood out a little bit in his police academy photo, he fit right in as the first ever foreign-born officer hired in Abilene.
Given where he came from, I think it gives a broader perspective, a lot of resilience, and a strong work ethic.
But wait, that's not it. The Assistant Police Chief Joel Harris says the fact that Sebahizi speaks 5 different languages is a huge help to the city.
And not only translate for us, but actually help us to communicate and bridge that gap with the cultures. And I think it helped us build trust quite a bit with the refugee community here.
Even if it doesn't always translate well for some of the people he comes across.
They pretend that they don't speak English at all, you know, like on traffic stops. And when I show up, things change.
Fidele Sebahizi is the kind of police officer whose traffic stops can sometimes end with a handshake.
You have a good one.
Be careful. You hear me?
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
While working 10-hour shifts as a police officer and raising a family, he went on to earn a master's degree and then a Ph.D. So you are not going to be surprised to hear me say that he didn't stop there. The immigrant who arrived in the U.S. without speaking much English at all has now written a book called Creating a Life from the Ashes.
I believe that anybody in this country, regardless their status, they can achieve whatever they want to achieve. If I did it as an immigrant or as a refugee, anybody else can do it too.
And that right there is a lesson he shares with his 2 American-born daughters, Fifna, who's 14, and Faith, who is 7.
I love you.
And after making his American dream come true and becoming an inspiration to so many others, you may be surprised to hear what he wants to do next.
My plan is to go back sometime and rebuild my village. Not only my village, but the country. Make it a better place and make a difference.
But first, he wanted to make sure his daughters were okay with it.
Are you gonna go back to my home village?
We're gonna go there together when I grow up.
Right.
Cool.
Sure.
And get money.
Say yes.
Yes.
When I get money.
Promise.
When I get
When you grow up, right?
Okay.
I just love this story. Before he moves back, he says he actually wants to teach college. So that's what he's working on right now. And think about this, guys. I mean, you have someone whose life was saved because they came to the United States. And now they're dedicated to protecting the lives of the people here. I mean, thank you, Officer Sebahizi. Love this story.
You know, David, I don't want to generalize, but as a child of immigrants, the line where Officer Harris says, given where he's come from, I think he gives a broader perspective, a lot of resilience, and a strong work ethic. That's what immigrants bring to this country. Get the job done.
Yeah. Let's
As
not lose
Hamilton
sight
said.
of that.
Exactly right. What a
Especially
beautiful
these
story,
days.
David.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
Well said.
Thank you, David, as always. If you have an idea for a story, you can contact David and his team at deardavid@cbsnews.com, or you can reach out to David directly on his millions of followers on social media. He's
That
got a
you
lot.
can do.